What is going on? I'm Zedmont. We're going to do a bit of an odd video. I don't even know how this is going to go, so I'm going to need you guys to comment. Let me know what you think about this sort of format, because it's just going to be a smorgasbord of warships goodness. Don't forget that creator boost. Throw Zedmod in there. It would be appreciated. Anyways, let's keep moving along. Obviously need to keep the sculptor going, need to keep our submarine going regardless of warships or not. So I'm going to do that first off, pick up some free diamonds off my map. Then we're going to look at warships. Now, I have been doing 3 completely somewhat different tech trees, and all 3 of them are seriously just crushing it. Now, obviously, I'm only at rank 14. I'm not like I'm up on the leaderboards or anything like that. Let's check the task force here. We got someone in up to 16. Canada's up to 21. That ain't me, sadly. Playing very, very casually. But let's just show you my, look at this, victory, 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 victory. I'm going to show you all 3 of my accounts on this. I'll show you what the differences are. So on this one, I went, and what did I do? I went and got shock launchers. I have 2 shock launchers. They are being incredibly, incredibly helpful. And I've also got the damage amp. On the 2 accounts that I have unlocked that prototype, I've gone with the damage amp. That way your machine guns and flamethrowers and boom cannons and every other defense you have are just wrecking things. So the shock launcher and the GBE also very, very helpful. Have not got barrage on this account. I do have Zukas though. Oh, no, sorry, I do not have Zukas. So all of these wins that you're seeing in this list right here, let's show you this win right here, are using Heavy Choppa and Rocket Choppa. Now, these sort of bases, this was just not fair. Like, this base is just not good because everything is clumped, and I don't like having 4 engine rooms all in one spot because it just lets their troops walk straight forward. You have all your troops doing damage. I just keep throwing critters, distracting the boom cannons, and then you end up taking down all 4 engine rooms fairly quickly. So these sort of linear bases, not super strong. I do not recommend that totally, not for 4 engine rooms anyway. So that's why I've got my 1 engine room back here. I probably should have a machine gun back there just so that they can't bring 1 rocket choppa back there. But because it's in that corner and it's so far from this landing ramp, you can't easily get troops back there. And that's why I chose that corner plus this front load base. So this base doing very, very well. Amped boom cannons, shock launchers off to the side. Now, if you're wondering what these 2 boom mines are here, what ends up happening is people come and they get my 3 engine rooms, and then they still have some buildings left that are attracting critters, and then they flare this back engine room. So Everspark and the heavies end up walking on those boom mines, and those 2 boom mines at the corners have won me at least 1 or 2 battles. So I would highly recommend, if you're going for this front load base, or whichever base you're doing for that matter, put some boom mines at a corner, whether it's on this corner over here. Just try and figure out where troops are going to path and throw some boom mines. I've also seen people putting boom mines in the very corner so that when you place Everspark, you end up losing Everspark. Anyway, so that's that tech tree. Obviously, lots and lots of max defenses this time. Picked the cannon in the middle there. Don't have maxed Everspark. Probably should max my critters. I'm finding that critters are very, very helpful in distracting things, and obviously the more you have, the better. This is only going to give us 2 extra, so not bad, actually. That's 20% more. Not too shabby. Boom cannons, I probably also should, like, you know what, I have the perfect amount, so let's do that right now. Boom cannons, don't get an extra build there, but do get a little bit of extra damage. And boom cannons versus heavy choppas, very, very useful. I have been maxing all of the boosts, as you can see. We've got the troop health, the building damage, and then that's my next step, is getting this building health over here. So that's account number 1, sitting at 1448 out of 60. And like I said, doing fair. Let's actually check the win rate. Can we do that here? Need to check in here, and then in the task force, there's probably an easier way, but 66.2% win rate. Doing pretty well. I'm playing casually and not really pushing for victories or anything silly like that. So 0 draws. You can tell that I'm not cheating, but let's switch accounts. I'll be back in just 1 sec. We'll go through 1 more account for the moment. Now, this account is the one that is struggling the most. This is the one that I am featuring on YouTube when I'm talking about warships. And the reason why this is struggling is because you'll see I've got a bunch of keys and a bunch of tokens saved up. And I don't think it's not completely struggling. We're almost at level 16. We're almost into the gold. But the reason why it's struggling is because I am saving all my resources and only spending them when I'm doing a YouTube video. So that's one thing to be aware of, is just pick where you want to go in the tech tree and then go there. Storing up keys and tokens isn't useful unless you're like at the verge of the next engine room and then you're going to save to get, say, up to here before you go through the engine room. At this point, saving keys and tokens does not make any sense, except for that's something that I do for you guys. So this account, I have not upgraded a ton. As you can see here, I probably should have either GBE or building health or an extra prototype or something like that. So a little bit hamstrung, and you can definitely see it because I am not winning nearly as much. But like I said, I'm totally fine with that, because really it gives me the advantage to spend my tokens on YouTube with you guys and show you my plans and my thoughts and all that sort of stuff. So the win-loss ratio, not nearly as good on this account, but like I said, not super critical. I do have endless reserves on this account. The other two I don't, which is why I'm playing slightly differently on those accounts. On this one, as you can see here, I am doing all Zookas with some heavy choppas. Now, on this attack, I actually got very, very lucky. There are some troops I dropped. Oh, there we go. So what I did was I was hoping that my rocket choppa on the right-hand side would come clear this stuff, but I just forgot about it and didn't drop critters in time. So a little bit unlucky there. Very, very lucky that I managed to pull out the win on this one. Again, using critters. See that? Just keeping the critters going on the boom cannons, letting troops go wild and crazy and spread out. So that one, not super duper awesome, not a great attack to show. Certainly, let's show one more attack just to see if maybe we can show something. Oh, this is not. See, like, I don't understand these bases where everything is up the front. I guess they're really relying on you making mistakes or something like that. And on this attack, I actually had the wrong troops loaded. I totally meant to load Zookas, and I loaded heavy choppas and just literally got lucky. So not showing such great attacks whatsoever, but I am pulling out wins. So this was not a great attack to show off either. Let's see if we can show something that's slightly better. I can't remember if I showed this one, or let's just go down here and show it against Da Boom. So hopefully getting something a little bit better. Rocket Choppa's in the corner. Everspark in the corner, and then just Zookas and Zookas and Zookas. And now I'm not super convinced that Zookas are actually better than Rocket Choppas. I feel like I'm winning more often with Rocket Choppas. I also had Everspark's universal remote, so I'm curious to hear what you guys are using, whether you're using Zookas or Rocket Choppas or a combination of the two. I actually dropped these Zookas somewhere way over here, hoping they would walk to that back corner, and it did not work, as you saw them come from this back side. So definitely not my strongest attacks of the day. So this account, not doing terribly well, as you saw there. So one thing so I'm going to switch to the third account, and then I'll show you a couple more things, and we'll talk a little bit more now that I've totally got egg on my face. Back in a second. Okay, so we are back. I had a bit of a brain fart there. I had to go back and check which account I've already shown you. So this is my third account, and again, sitting at about 15, no instant training. This season has been fantastic for not needing instant training. Once you get to 4 engine rooms, you essentially don't require it. And as you can see here, again, just doing fairly well. This account's tech tree is a little bit different in the fact that I went and got Barrage. Now, I don't like Barrage so far. I have not. Obviously, I'm only at 3 notches on Barrage, so possibly if I get to 4 or 5. But so far, Barrage to me has been a complete waste of tokens and keys and things like that. So again, curious to hear you guys' thoughts on Barrage. Perhaps I should have waited a little bit and spent to upgrade it even further. But on this one, I went a different route, and I skipped the GBE or I skipped the shock launcher and went for building health. So I'm sitting with, I believe, 100% building health. How do I check that? Let's go to the info. 100% building health. There's probably an easier way to check it, but I can't think of what it would be off the top of my head. Obviously, it's much easier when scouting. Let's just show an attack from this account just to show you what I'm up to. And that's not a good example either. Just heavy Choppa, Rocket Choppa, Rocket Choppa and heavy Choppa burning through the base, Everspark dropping critters everywhere, and then just using my barrage to get rid of that corner boom cannon. Probably should have got rid of that boom cannon, but overall, it ended up working out, even though this attack was not super good. And I guess maybe that's kind of what I need to focus on here, is that you don't need to have good attacks on warships to progress, as long as your tech tree is fairly all right. As you saw, I didn't focus any attacks, so my random attacks are not super great. This guy annoyed me so much. Like, watch this attack. For the record, this is not my attack. Using all rifles for some crazy reason and just walking into machine gun, mortar, flamethrower hell. Like, he does not have any chance. But watch, this is something I hope none of you guys are doing. Wait for it just a moment. If any of you are doing this, please don't, because it's the douchiest move there is. Just watch this. Sitting here with no troops left, no rocket choppas left, no Zukas left, just Everspark. And he sits there for over 2 minutes. Like, the engine room's not going down. Just be a decent human being and retreat. So if you know that person, please tell them to give their head a shake. Back to me. Oh, I want to show you that bug. Oh, I wonder if I can pause here. No, I'm going to do a separate video to show you the bug / feature that is why troops are pathing in ugly ways. So I'll show you one more attack, and then I don't know. I don't have a plan. This is just me trying to give you a quick weekend update on my warship's progress, because it's either that or now, realistically, I should be using Speed Serum. Serum is still here, and as you heard in my pause screens, its music is amazing, its ability is amazing, and I should probably be doing more Speed Serum videos, but the thing is, you guys have spoken, and Warships gets way more views, way more comments from you guys than regular map clears. So I'm going to do that on my random videos just to try and keep you guys up to date on what's going on, what I'm finding, what I recommend, all that sort of stuff. Still no rocket launchers for me. On my 3 accounts, I do not have any rocket launchers. Curious to hear if you guys are using rocket launchers or you've just abandoned them. Maybe if I get them up to tier 4, it might be worthwhile, but so far facing 3 rocket launchers, even with damage amplifiers, haven't done much at all. So my next step is probably to pick up this extra GBE. Not quite sold. Shock launchers are very helpful, but overall, as you can see here, I highly recommend splitting your base up. That is the one takeaway you can take from all 3 of my accounts. Send an engine room off to the side, make people split their troops up, or go around the outside, as Eminem once said, and I think you'll have better luck. Just splitting things up, making troops walk as far as you can, or go across distances. And heavy choppas going across the gap, they lose their heavies, obviously, which is where most of their damage comes from. You know what? Let's do one live attack, just so I can totally and completely screw up live on the YouTubes. Not actually live, I suppose, but you get my drift. So this base, this is a pretty darn good base. First glance, I see the fact that they've got a whole bunch of defenses on the right. They've got some stuff on the left, which will stop me from dropping just like one boat of something. Overall, pretty strong. And the other thing is people's attention. You can't focus over here and over here without fully committing to it. So this is a pretty darn good base. I'm going to go like this. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to go with some critters over here and a rocket choppa and a heavy choppa and miss Everspark over here. There are no boom cannons on that right side, so I think we should be okay to just abandon that right side and let our heavy choppas do their thing. On this left side, critters, Everspark, and that one rocket choppa should be strong enough to get us going. And at this point, really just need to get some critters. Critters onto machine guns is generally the best idea. Not progressing terribly quickly, but at the same time, we've got one engine room down. We're working our way forwards. and these rocket choppas are not taking any damage. Those rocket launchers and machine guns and mortars and things, not a problem at all. They've already got one more engine room down than us, so this is where I really do kind of wish that Supercell would have some sort of panic music that came on, kind of like the what is that called? Kind of like the speed serum music, where like when you're down an engine room or tied, where it would be like speed up tempo music, like, oh no, we need to get moving. Because in my head I hear like the speed serum music going like, hurry the heck up, you're losing, you're about to. And right now, down an engine room, it needs to be just like pure panic music, like kind of like Super Mario, where you're you've got a star, like dun 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 dun, dun, let's go, we're gonna lose if we don't get that last engine room down very, very soon. But obviously I can't flare it, so just waiting. Let's flare that engine room right now, throw a barrage on it, and somehow hope that we can get it down. I am not overly hopeful, but we might still have a chance. It's going to be so incredibly close, but I think I started a little bit later than them, and we've managed to take it down. So I'm guessing they're at like the 2-minute mark or so, because I yammered on for a bit. See, boom, getting the victory live on the YouTubes. Let me know what you think about that music idea. I don't know how many of you play with sound on, but Boom Beach's sound quality is pretty darn good, whether it be the music, or Everspark when she throws her explosive charge, or there's lots and lots of great sound effects in Boom Beach. And I think that that music, if it was to speed up as your engine rooms went down or something like that, could be a pretty cool little effect. Anyways, that's my Warships weekend update. Let me know what you thought about the complete mess of a format. Typically I have a nice script and things that I want to talk about, and this video today is nothing like that. But I don't typically make videos on the weekend, but since this whole coronavirus isolation, stay away from people thing, I've been trying to do a little bit extra. So hopefully you guys find this entertaining or educational. Don't forget to click that subscribe button, because there will be more exciting Warships, Operation, Dr. T, events, all sorts of good stuff. So anyways, that's all for me. Hopefully you guys are happy and healthy and well fed and all that sort of great stuff. I'm Zedmont. No sandwich arguments here. Bit of a long story. As always, thanks for coming in. Peace.